Hey, welcome. I want to give you an update today on what Freddie Mac's loan requirements are. They just came out today, hit my email box, and I wanted to share with you. Look, if you're doing debt, if you're looking at an apartment deal right now, you have to know the debt market. The debt market is changing so much right now. People really don't know, is it the time to get or refinance a deal? Is it time to buy a deal? So I just want to continue to share with you, if you're trying to buy your own deals, do your own deals. Financing and debt are vital and critical to you making sense of a deal. Today, Freddie Mac came out, released property performance underwriting guidance for loans in this declining rent due to the COVID-19. Now, rent income is declining nationwide. We were at 95, almost 96% at Cardone Capital last month, where the national average was 84%. But when that happens, when you have neighbors that are losing their rent, Freddie and Fannie and the banks, the regionals, and the life insurance companies will change their underwriting standards. Right now, they're looking for a T1 or T3 collections. I'm not sure which of those needs to be better, but you're going to be quoted. Your loan will be quoted on the most up-to-date income information with support from a T1, that's trailing one, or trailing 3 collections, probably whichever is lowest. Additional quote stipulations, in addition to the rent roll and property financial statements, you'll have to have both of those at the delivery of the full package, okay? You need most recent full and partial months collections for loans committing before the 15th of the month, okay? Imagine you're doing a loan April 15th or May 15th. Before the full month, the preceding month's collections must be provided prior to them giving you a commitment. For loans committing on or after the 15th, let's say you're doing a deal after the 15th of May or June, they're going to want a partial current month's collection. They want to see those 15 days, which could hurt you, by the way. So you might want to think about when you're going to actually apply, because the last half of the month typically doesn't collect a lot of rent. Small balance loans, called SBLs. These are collections are required. The collections are required at the time of underwriting the submission. So you need to deliver to them what your collections actually are. For loans received in underwriting from the 1st through the 15th of the month, the preceding month's collections have to be provided. So you're buying a deal from somebody, you need to know what their previous month's collections are. Obviously, you would and should have that. For loans received in underwriting from the 16th to the end, a partial current month's collections must be provided, and they'll ask for the previous month, probably the previous 3 months. Who knows what they're going to look for? In addition to the rent collections, rent rolls, they're probably going to look for the previous year. This is what they're telling you have to have, but I guarantee when they start digging in, they're going to say, let's look at 2019. For most recent rent rolls, you have to have updated rent roll dated within 7 days of your commitment must be provided prior to them giving you a commitment. So when you make an application, that's one thing. When they give you a commitment, they're going to go back and say, hey, I need the last 7 days as well. So you could actually do a loan app May 1, let's say, okay? You not get a commitment from the lender until the end of May. At that point, they're going to be like, I still need to see the last 7 days, okay? SBL, updated rent roll dated with 7 days of underwriting package submission. If the income falls while you're in, due to the COVID-19 or whatever reason, between application and the full due diligence, so you're making an application May 1 or June 1 or July 1. If your income falls while you're in process, loans will be reevaluated. Loans with collection declines greater than the amounts listed below, and I'll give them to you in a second, will be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. Freddie Mac's got everything covered, every little freaking angle. Conventional senior housing targeted affordable, they want to do affordable, for loans with coverage less than 140x, that's a debt coverage ratio of 1.40, that was 120 before this started. Wow. Okay, they went up. So you got to have a debt coverage of 140. Okay, watch. You're like, oh my God, the real estate market's going to be awesome. Yeah, but the debt market is freaking squeezing your ability to either be able to sell a deal, because if I want to sell a deal, I need a buyer. And for a buyer to get a loan, you now have to have a 140% coverage on your debt to get this loan. If the collections delivered at full package or the updated collection is less than a 10% decline from the time you made app, if it's less than 10, because they know there's going to be movement. The loan will continue through the due diligence at full application loan proceeds. So let's say you applied for a $20 million loan. If it's a less than a 10% movement, they say they're going to continue with those loan proceeds. I doubt it. For loans with coverage greater than or equal to the 140, if the collection delivered it, the full package. By the way, let me just say this. This is a stipulation on the DCR, okay? They're saying if it covers less than 140 or over 140. I want to check on that DCR coverage to see where Freddie is right now with DCR coverage. I'd love to know what Ryan says about that, but I think he was on the phone with him yesterday. Let me just see if I can get him in here. For loans with coverage greater than the 140, which, I mean, you like, I don't know how you get to over 140. If the collection's delivered at full package or the updated collection is less than a 15% decline from the time that you went under app to the time of due diligence, the application will proceed. Hey, Ryan, real quick.
Yes, sir.
What DCR are they underwriting for? Did they tell you over at CBRE?
Pushing it up from 125 to it's either 130 or 140.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm right on that. They did push it up, okay? Small balance loans, SBLs. For loans with coverage less than the 140, if the updated collections is less than 10%, the loan will continue through due diligence at full application with full proceeds. For loans greater than the 140, okay, this is getting to the minutia now. If there's less than a 15% decline, obviously they're gonna still continue because why? Because you had more coverage on the loan. Okay, assume loans have debt service reserve in place. Listen to this. This is a huge change. Debt service reserve, meaning what? You need to reserve 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months of future debt. So not only are you going to need to put 30 or 40% down, you need to reserve 12 months of payments. Assume all other aspects of the loan underwriting are acceptable in conformance with the quote. They will want reserves, okay? Pricing. Check this out. This is the pricing on the Freddie Mac as of today. Treasury floor is now 0.6. It broke that. It went as low as a quarter. That's a 10-year treasury. The treasury floor is now 0.6. Today, I think we're below that right now, 0.56. So they're trying to protect themselves on the downside, but that's not all. Conventional full leverage transaction pricing is as follows. There's no longer a 5-year quote. Most people didn't take that anyway. But they got rid of the short-term quote. Why? Because they're worried about the next 5 years. They have a 7-year, a 10-year, and a 12-year. And this is how they go. Remember the floor, 0.6. The 7-year floor is 0.6 plus 300 to 315 bips over. 10-year is 295 to 310 over. The 12-year is 305 to 320. If you don't understand what I'm talking about right now, do some more homework before you go out and buy a deal, okay? Get this program before you do the deal. The debt is everything on these deals. I mean, it's not everything. The property obviously is the most important part, but the debt is vital to doing this deal. Freddie SBL loans in top markets, not all markets, top markets, the 5 years 398 to 413. So this is going to be your all-in money, almost 4% money. 7 years going to be 4% to 410. 10 years, 398 to 413, almost no change between a 5, a 7, and a 10-year loan. Now, what does all that mean, okay? The treasury, 10-year treasury collapsed to 0.3, almost zero. They're saying it could go to zero. The Fed's waiting to decide whether they're going to ease again or not. Now you have interest rates collapsing worldwide, but it's going to cost me 4% to borrow money on one of the safest investments in the world. What is that saying to you? I borrowed money just 3 months ago, 2.5 months ago, at 3.23. That money cost me more today. Cost me almost a full point today. In February, Freddie Mac announced that they're transitioning from LIBOR to SOFR. SOFR is secured overnight financing rate. It doesn't really mean anything to you. They're blowing out the LIBOR, which is a London-based interest rate. Freddie confirmed that they will be using the 30-day compounded SOFR average. They're doing everything they can to protect themselves against a downside on this thing going to zero. This index will be used for floating rate loans across all product lines, including conventional, targeted, affordable, and SBLs, okay? All right, as of today, Fannie Mae has not yet released any guidance, but we can expect that will happen in the near term, at which time I will give you an update. If you're going to buy real estate, folks, and you didn't buy any last year and you've been waiting for a turn down, oh my God, this is the turn down you were waiting for. There is going to be blood in the streets, okay? If you're looking for 32 units, 64 units, 100 units, 200, 300 units, now's your time to get your skills together, learn what you're doing, shop your market, know the sellers, and you got to know the debt. If you want to grab this program, they'll put a link below. It's a great way for you to get started. I promise you, when we get on the other side of this, October, November, December, the debt markets are going to smooth out. You're going to be able to get this money. It'll be the cheapest interest rate money. Don't rush into the marketplace right now. Get your skills, know what you're doing, know what's available in the marketplace, know the inventory in the marketplace, know who has to sell and who just might want to sell, big difference, and then wait for this debt market to calm down. Hope you enjoyed this. If you got a question or comment, if I said something that's not wrong, throw it in below. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae's coming, Freddie Mac released today. Cardone Capital, if you don't want to do all this homework, you don't want to do the research, you don't want to learn how to do it, cardonecapital.com, we're open for both accredited and non-accredited investors. I've been doing this 35 years. I'm a preferred borrower with Fannie, a preferred borrower with Freddie Mac, and a preferred borrower with many of the life insurance companies. Not to mention, I know where the deals are, I know who's selling, I know who wants to sell, who needs to sell, who has to sell. I have the money to buy, and I have the experience. The one thing Freddie Mac didn't say in their release, your experience as a manager today will be more important than your money. It'll be more important than your credit, and it'll be more important than the actual inventory or the actual asset you're buying. Listen to what I'm telling you. More important than your credit, your money, or the asset you're buying, your management experience will be the single most important thing that Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae will measure going forward. Hope this helps.